Hello, brothers. In today's video, I'll talk about one woman's responses to mgtow and my own responses to her thoughts. A female viewer who stumbled upon mgtow videos describes them as odd as hell, claiming that the channel promotes sexism without meaning to offend. Like the lack of antagonism toward women, I read similar scientific essays with the gender reversed. When a woman thinks men are terrible, and all women should become lesbians until we overcome oppressive gender dynamics. Well, I don't feel like it's an attack on women because males aren't responsible for horrible things, and sincere facts are presented emotionally and neutrally, unconcerned about the message. Do you believe women hold all the power? These articles falsely imply that having sexual relations with a man can be dangerous. This is not to say that women are never to blame for their actions. On the contrary, the sensualist notions of gender are destructive to both sexes. I'm a woman who is genuinely interested in hearing your thoughts without any intention of insult, but I find it absurd how much men contribute to gender dynamics, how powerful men hoard money, and how they believe in patriarchy. Okay, brothers, now are we sexist if we prioritize ourselves over women? We mgtow aren't stupid or malicious. We're just passive-aggressive. The red pill represents an awakening to the systemic male blindness perpetuated by women, corporations, and cultural institutions. Men are finally discussing the shackles women have kept us under since the dawn of time. Women deliberately complicate matters once we see through the fog so guys can keep jumping through feminine hoops. If you want to restrict our liberties on the grounds that they are discriminatory against women, you are a despot. It's interesting to you because many women, if they were oppressed in the same way that women oppressed men, would have a temper tantrum. Females have traditionally policed male behavior by only rewarding it with physical intimacy when it conformed to social norms established by female groups. When we give you a purse or a bouquet of flowers, you show us your undying loyalty, affection, and satisfaction. But suppose we don't. Oh, okay, sorry, no fun. In other words, men accept women's nature because we've been around them long enough to know that this is how women are and that it causes men to feel resentful and idle. What about babies who poop their diapers? Are they punished? No. Do we despise rain? Nope. Our anonymity comes from the anonymity of the internet, and our security comes from the protection of scholarly writings. Many females argue that men are the cause of all evil and that all women should convert to lesbianism. These women are afraid of men and the power we possess. During feminist rallies, lesbians fan the flames of anti-male sentiment, drawing in young, impressionable women. Unlike these female authors, we don't encourage men to cheat on their wives by sleeping with other men, and we don't use manipulation tactics on one another. For the majority of us, loving women was a dream we had to finally let go of. That which all men and boys aspire to achieve. Since they don't care about anyone but themselves, real men are feared by the rest of society. mgtows think that we're kept unhappy and dissatisfied in order to increase our productivity, but the opposite is true. Many people are afraid for us to be happy, but you see violence between men as only one aspect of their relationships with women. The woman writes that harmful gender stereotypes hurt both men and women. We have a wider range of perspectives because of the increased collective interactions between men and women, the increased stereotyping of men by women, the unique characteristics of socially isolated individuals, and the greater diversity of our population as a whole. Most men lack the requisite generic knowledge to comprehend female gynocentrism, and thus can be negatively impacted by stereotypical portrayals. Your questions about the benefits and drawbacks of mgtow have been answered, and I discuss specific women by relating my own and other men's experiences with them. To begin, do we encourage segregation based on gender? Though many of us enjoy dating and engaging in sexual activity with women, we refuse to bend to the whims of the female gender in terms of our lifestyle, finances, or morals. Women already hold more political sway than men do, and if men were to die off 5 years earlier than women, there would be more women than men registered to vote. When I mentioned it to her, she automatically assumed it would be evenly split between the sexes, but in some countries, women now make up 53 or 54% of the population. Do we not care about equal representation of the sexes? When discussing why gender-neutral voting is doomed to fail, how much responsibility should be placed on men? Whipped men are a growing concern in today's society because no one, not even other men, women, or children, likes a whipped man or a wimpy man. One of my clients remarked to me that he is the consummate alpha male and men's man, but only because he finally worked up the guts to stop being emotionally triggered by women's antics a year and a half ago. As the majority of single parents, women are also responsible for the upbringing of men and boys, which can have a negative impact on gender dynamics and calls for greater accountability on their part. It's puzzling that men predominantly hold positions of power in business and government. Why shouldn't men keep the power and money they invent? Since men build and innovate businesses, and women oversee men's riches and innovation. Google, Facebook, and the steam engine were all created by men. If I understand you correctly, you're arguing that men should invent the other 99.999% of the things we enjoy, and then turn over control of their businesses to women. It's not worth it for most men to work for free, so they either give up their power in exchange for money and status or move to Cuba or North Korea. Women always try to take credit for men's inventions. They have this weird and nasty habit of acting responsibly in order to rise to power, when in fact they are completely incompetent. What exactly is fair about the fact that they preach diversity and equality but consistently demand the benefits of female privilege? Women have always wanted to be the focus of attention and have found their own ways to manipulate men, whether it be by pretending to be lesbians when they feel they are receiving too much attention or by blindly following men who strike out on their own. Now it's up to you to decide if you want to waste your time on such trivial pursuits or forge your own path as a respected man. We'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, make sure your brothers who could use some red pill and mgtow watch this and spread the word.